few days later, they say never go and have a mask done before you're going to go to an important event, because you'll be all broken out, because it pulls all the toxins out of your face and you'll end up with pimples when you go to your event. But it can do that, and I think I've seen it more on the hot oils, pulling.
Yeah.
It can pull the toxins out faster, and that means that you need to back off and don't use that oil for a while, for one thing. And when you do start back up, start slow and low, and put it on your feet.
Yeah.
But don't take it. What it probably means is that, from what I've been seeing and hearing, it sounds like people that are on a lot of medication, they're the ones who tend to have this problem. So that means that their liver and their kidneys are probably taxed to the limit, and they're like they're going, whoa, what is this good thing you just gave me, you know? And it's starting to pull the toxins out faster than your body can navigate. So, like I said, don't go home and say, oh, this is like totally safe and everything. I mean, it is much safer than pharmaceutical products, but be responsible. You know, don't, if you were to share something with a friend, you know, don't say, oh, slather it all over yourself, it's great. More is not always better. One of the other things I read in one of those books is sometimes if you overdo it, you overstimulate the cells, and you actually don't achieve as good of an effect as if you just used a little bit. So, you know, keep that in mind. You know, more is not better necessarily. A little goes a long way. Let's see here. Lemon is pretty crazy. You want to do the?
Yeah.
Lemon is a mighty antioxidant. It dissolves chemicals, and so if it dissolves chemicals externally, it'll dissolve chemicals internally. It comes from the rind and not the pulp where the juice is. The juice is where the acid is from, and that's what people worry about.
You can see it eat through the cup, that's what she said.
Yeah, give it a second. It takes 43 lemon rinds to cold press 1 bottle of lemon oil. You want all of the citrus oils that are in Young Living, you want to be careful. I think it's all of them, isn't it, with photosensitivity?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you don't ever want to put it on your face and then go outside, because you'll get a really nasty sunburn. And that's with all of the citrus oils. Lemon oil it seems like it's a pretty low-key oil. I mean, what can lemon oil do, right? It is good for infections, coughs, ear infections, colds, drainage, sinus. Research has shown that vaporized lemon oil can kill meningococcal bacteria within 15 minutes, typhoid in an hour, Staph aureus in 2 hours, and pneumococcal bacteria within 3 hours. It also assists in draining the lymphatic system, improves concentration and mental accuracy. And it eats up petrochemicals. I don't know if has it eaten through the cup yet?
It's made it real bubbly.
That's why we're serving the lemon water in glass, because if you ever have it in a plastic cup, I don't know if it'll eat through the cup.
It starts to make it kind of soggy, and
It ate through the cup.
Well, I'm talking about I'm talking about like if you have a water bottle or something that's plastic.
Someone
yeah,
told us
yeah,
at the last
yeah.
meeting, sorry. Someone told us at the last meeting, they put it in a water bottle and it ate the top
yes,
off.
Yeah.
yeah.
It helps in digestion, and it is an energizer. So
I have a question. So it says on here varicose veins, so you put it on varicose veins, or?
Topically.
topically.
Yeah.
In a carrier oil?
You know, if you had a lot and you were going to need to spread it, I would add a carrier oil, but if you just had a few, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just use it straight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Charlie has, we did a science, we've done several science experiments on Charlie.
Good
sounds
old
like all the
Charlie.
husbands.
He had a corn on the bottom of his foot that was really bothering him, and he couldn't walk in the house unless he had house shoes on. And so I read, if you just apply lemon oil at least once a day to the corn, twice a day is better, but once a day is probably all you're gonna get from a guy. Anyway, so he did it every night for 3 weeks, and how's your corn?
It's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. So saved him a trip to.
Corny
Yes,
You're corny.
saved him a trip to the doctor. Anyway. So,
Cool.
so purification is the next one, and it's 6 oils. It's a disinfectant, and it cleans and neutralizes the air against mildew, paint fumes, cigarette smoke, and I might add
Skunk.
2 times over skunk. And
And
within
no,
3 hours,
just,
it's-
for that,
Yes.
we were sprayed
Yes.
this morning, and does anybody smell it?
yes, in the
Is
house.
that what
Yeah.
was diffusing in here?
Wow.
Really
Frankincense is
awesome,
diffused
great.
up on the.
You were
porch,
diffusing
I guess.
frankincense?
No,
Yeah.
into the garage.
Yeah.
Smell for the garage.
So you don't ingest it, you diffuse that?
You can ingest it, you
Yeah.
can, but you can diffuse it. I'm gonna come up with I'm gonna make a spray for the dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, so we can spray the dogs directly with it, cause I'm sure it would work.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
You probably
What's
wouldn't have
in that
as
one?
much of a need to take it internally.
That one,
But it wouldn't,
What
the
was,
ones
what
in,
was
Oh,
the
so
I'll have to
it's
look at the label on it, I'm not
I
sure.
wouldn't.
Nose gets confused.
I wouldn't.
What about athletes?
Um,
My brother has
so,
that really bad from the army.
The purification is also, in addition to
Really?
being
This isn't-
a
it's just a
disinfectant
fungus.
Yeah.
So,
and a
there's
odor
some in-
neutralizer, it's a
tons that are
bug
in the kit.
bite prevention and treatment.
Look at that.
And you can mix it in a spray bottle with distilled water and spray it all over your body. And Missy has used, we haven't used it because we haven't had summer hit us yet with the oils.
Yeah.
But Missy's used it and she says it keeps away chiggers, so.
Yeah.
I'm like, any anti-chigger thing is a friend of mine,
Mhm.
for sure. You can also use it on mosquito bite, like a dab of oil on mosquito bites, ant bites, spider, wasp, bees, whatever. And I will add as a friendly natural pharmacist that if you ever also get stung, you can cut an onion in half and rub an onion on the sting, and it pulls the sting out like almost immediately. You can rub it on for about 10 minutes and it won't even hurt. So
You're talking about bees and wasps? What
bees,
kinds?
wasps, yeah, scorpion,
Even if you're allergic to it, it works.
yeah.
Wow.
It's also good for acne. Purification is good for acne, ear mites in dogs, and I mean it's noted as a strong antimicrobial. All right, the next one is Joy, and
Mhm.
yeah, sorry. And Joy, Joy has like 10 oils, and it. A lot of women use this one as a perfume if you're a perfume wearer. It's got rose and tangerine and lilac. Is that-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I smell the most.
Is that what you have on?
toxic stuff on it?
It's it is Joy is just what it is. I mean, it is an antidepressant or works as a mood uplifter. Supposedly, it's good for postpartum depression. Yeah.
I've got a
was
lot
that
of-
6 years ago? For what is it?
I've got a lot of hormonal things going on at this point in my life. And I read something to put it around the inside of your ear. So I took the Joy and just dabbed it all on the inside of my ear and down, because I was feeling, funny. And I felt better.
Good,
Yeah, I felt a lot better.
good.
I like the way that it smells a lot.
I do
mean,
too.
it's interesting though because Audrey doesn't like the way it smells, and we had this discussion, right? You don't like Joy?
It's very strong.
So it blends with your own body chemistry though. I think it smells different on me than in the bottle.
Yeah.
It is, the whole oil thing is so interesting because Audrey and I were smelling, one called Emu Power, but you have that one?
Uh-huh.
And to me, I bought it to add to my little arsenal of defense. And when I smelled it, I was like, oh, all I can smell is black pepper, and it doesn't even have
Yeah.
black pepper in it. But all I can smell is black pepper. And Audrey smelled it, and she's like, wow, I love that smell. And I was like, okay. But I have heard that if you don't like the way and one of these oils smells, it's your body telling you that you need it. And
Give me
that-
some of that joy.
Well, I was gonna say, apparently.
and that over time, if you use it despite the fact that you don't like it, it will end up being one of your favorite oils because your body will, I mean, it will raise the frequency or do whatever it's doing inside your body to where it's a necessary, you'll find it necessary almost. I just think that's really interesting. So, anyway, I was gonna give you one more testimony that's kind of like it's a really big one. I kind of alluded to my uncle earlier, and as all of you know, my dad passed away in December, and during that time, my uncle got really sick. And we didn't know it because he was very quiet about it. And he lives in Gillette, Wyoming, and that's like in the boonies. And he had a hip, he thought he had arthritis. He went to the doctor, they said it was arthritis. A week later, he was in ICU, and he had MRSA, which is methicillin-resistant staph aureus, infection in his hip joint. It had been misdiagnosed. And he was in ICU for 10 days. They had to put a port in to have regular antibiotics administered. When he got out of the hospital, they left the port in, and he went home with a port and an IV line and was giving himself IV antibiotics 3 times a day. This is still back in December now. He called me 3 weeks ago.
It's about 3 weeks.
He called me about 3 weeks ago, and he said, I just don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end. He said, I have been back to my doctor, and I have he said, I can't get rid of this infection. I still have this infection. He said, and now they're telling me that the staph has eaten the hip joint, and now I have to get a hip replacement. Only I can't get a hip replacement because I still have the infection. And he said, I don't even know what to do. And I said, let me think about this and I will call you back. And so the pharmacist is thinking and the natural person is thinking, and I'm like, what do you do? And I went over what they were giving him, I went over everything. He, not only did he have the infection, they had to go in because of the bad infection. They had to go in and do surgery and do major muscle debridement because it had eaten away all of this. You know how important these muscles are right here for locomotion. He's missing big chunks of muscle out of that area now. And so I talked to him on a Wednesday morning, which Wednesday is a work day for me. And I said, I said, I'm gonna get you set up. I've just found a protocol for this. We're gonna try essential oils. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. Keep doing what the doctor said, but we're gonna do this essential oil thing. So I said, I will set you up when I get back from work. So I get back from, and I had, stupidly, I told him what I was gonna do and what I was gonna get for him. So I come back home from work, and there's an email from him saying, I've ordered all the oils. It was from a site where frankincense was $11 a bottle. I was like, he sent me the receipt, copy of the receipt, and I was like, oh, no. So, this is so important. He can lose his life, from this infection that he has. And so I called him back and I said, I'm going to buy you your oils, and you are going to either send those oils back or throw them away. And because I am not gonna be responsible for giving you bad information and